Hi everybody, welcome back to Culinary Fitness. We're doing culinary fitness for kids and we're going to make some really cool stuff today. I'm Chef Dennis.
And I'm Chef Maya.
That's right, we're going to make some blackened fish tacos. And these are going to be really delicious. Do you like fish tacos?
I love fish tacos.
Maya loves fish tacos. I love fish tacos. Let's make some fish tacos.
Ooh, yeah.
What do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, cool. Well, the first thing I think we should do is we're gonna make a nice little pico de gallo, which is like a salsa. It's a fresh salsa, right?
It's like a chunky salsa.
A chunky salsa, right? Using fresh tomatoes and some onion, and we're gonna keep it really basic today, okay? So what I've done here is I cut up some tomato, right? So we're gonna have tomatoes for our pico, okay? So Maya's gonna do some of this. So Maya, why don't you cut up some cilantro?
Cilantro.
Cilantro. So.
Okay. So this is how you cut cilantro.
Okay.
A sharp knife, and you kind of group it together, like this, and do that later. And then you're just gonna kind of like make it more together. Use your claw hand.
Claw hand. Remember the claw hand. Keeping the fingers in, gripping what you're cutting. And that way you won't cut your fingers off.
And you just kind of cut.
That's right.
Like a normal person.
Right.
And then, so.
Let's cut it a little bit more. Cool.
Until it's about this small.
And this is how you do a lot of different herbs, right? So parsley, basil, you would group the herbs together. See it? It's nice and small. Let me show you even how to get it even finer. So if you take it and you squeeze it all together like this, look at that. So now you have this little ball. And if you just let the knife go down here, look at that. Now it's even smaller. Cool, so we're gonna mix that in with the tomatoes.
You're gonna take this.
Chef Maya's gonna do that.
Bow!
Cool. A little bit more. Here, I'll get all this. That way we won't waste any. Now we need just a tiny little pinch of salt. Tiny little pinch. Just a little pinch.
And you just throw it in there.
Right, so the thing with salt is, and check this out, Maya, salt is a flavor enhancer. It's not actually a spice, right? It's a seasoning. So what it does is it makes the flavor of the food that you're putting the salt on, it makes the flavor of the food intensified. It makes it come out more. It doesn't necessarily spice it up, right? It's an enhancer. Cool. So we put a little bit of salt in there. Now we're also going to put a pinch of pepper. This is going to be a really straightforward, simple pico, okay? Let's put a nice pinch. You can put a nice pinch of pepper.
Just a regular pinch.
Yep.
Not as small as the salt because
you want a little.
You need some strongness in there.
You need a little spice in there. Now we're going to put some onions in there too. So we diced up some little red onions. We have a video that Maya did on how to cut up onions, and you'll see that one later on. But let's put a little bit of those onions in there, maybe about half of those. So we're going to put in about 2 tablespoons of onions or so. The tomatoes in there. There's about a cup of diced cherry tomatoes. Whatever kind of tomatoes you want to use are great. It's whatever's the sweetest and the ripest and the freshest at the time when you're cooking. Right, Maya? Mm-hmm. Cool. Let's put in some crushed red pepper. Just a tiny little pinch of that. You don't want too much of that because that'll be overpowering.
It will make it way too spicy.
Way too spicy. We don't want that. Just a tiny little bit. Cool. Now, the other thing the recipe calls for is a jalapeno. We are going to use this Anaheim pepper. It's pretty spicy, and I just picked it out of my garden outside here. Actually, Maya picked it off of my plant. She was like, give me that thing, right? So, Maya's going to chop it up just a tiny little bit. We don't need a lot here. We don't want to overpower the freshness of the tomatoes, but we want to have a nice tiny little dice of the peppers. Again, if you want to use jalapeno, use jalapeno. It's whatever you have available, right?
It's good.
That's probably good. Yeah, you can cut it up a little bit more.
Because you want it everywhere.
Yeah, you don't want just one big chunk of pepper, or that could ruin your whole meal, right? So you want to make sure you have a nice little fine dice of that. Cool. Maya's doing an awesome job. Good job, Chef Maya.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, now let's get that in there. Nice. Chef Maya rocks. Chef Maya rocks. Chef Maya rocks. Awesome. Cool. Now that's our pico. So let's mix that up a little bit. While she's doing that, actually, Actually, I told her the one ingredient we're missing a little bit is some fresh lime. So Maya's gonna squeeze a little bit of lime in there. We don't need too much. So I just fork in the lime. You take a fork, stick it in the middle, squeeze the lime at the same time you're twisting the fork. Squeeze. Or maybe I'll do this one. See that? Look at that.
It spreads everywhere, so
Yeah. So
have
watch
a
your
nice
eyes.
clean surface. Watch your eyes and have a clean surface, because if you have papers everywhere and they're important, well,
You don't want to get lime on your good papers.
no.
All right, cool. So look at this. We have our fresh pico, and that's all ready to go. So we're going to put that on the side. Then we're going to do our fish, okay? We're going to make a little blackening seasoning to put on our fish. And then we're going to blacken our fish, okay?
First, don't we have to put this in the refrigerator?
You can put that in the refrigerator. Go ahead. If you want to make that, you can make that like 4 or 6 hours ahead of time. It's best to make that the same day that you're going to use it. If you let it sit too long, it doesn't quite have the same flavor. And the tomato skins, when you refrigerate them, can be a little bit tough, okay? So, all right, now we're going to make our blackening seasoning for the fish, okay?
Fish.
So,
Yummy.
here, let me get a little bowl here. And then we're going to make our blackening season. So we're going to have Maya do the bulk of this. So the first thing you want to do is to put about a teaspoon of the granulated garlic.
This one.
That's the one. So you can pick that up and just kind of, what I always do, see how it's stuck? If you tap it like that, and then just drizzle in about a teaspoon of that.
Like that?
Yup. A little bit more. Maybe a half of that. Maybe that's like a tablespoon. That's good.
There we
Okay,
go.
now we're going to put some black pepper.
A bit more black pepper, because black pepper makes everything a bit more.
Explosive.
Thank you.
Spicy. Spicy Maya.
I'm not spicy.
I don't know. I think you're pretty spicy. All right, cool. So let's just talk about blackening real quick, okay? A lot of people get confused about blackening because they think blackening means burnt. Blackening does not mean burnt. Blackening means blackened, right? So, yeah, a little bit more. So basically what you're doing, these spices that we're using garlic, granulated garlic, some black pepper. We're gonna also add a bunch of salt, maybe about a teaspoon of salt in there. Now these things, when they come in direct contact with heat, whether it's on the grill or in a pan, those things blacken, right?
Right.
They don't burn, they blacken, and they add a lot of flavor to the meat that you're using, or you can blacken your vegetables too. Okay, so let's put some salt in there. Right. A little bit more. Put a bunch of salt. You want it to have a good flavor. A little bit more. Cool. All right, cool. Let's mix that up a little bit. Yeah, just use your finger. Cool. So now we have our fish here, and I have our pan, which is on medium-high heat. Okay. You don't want to have it on high. You don't want to burn it. You just want to give it some flavor. Okay. Actually, you know what? I forgot. Don't move, Maya. I want to put a little bit of paprika in here. Paprika gives it a little smoky flavor. Okay.
That's a lot.
And it also gives it a nice little color too. Okay. Cool. Now look at that blackening. You see how that has that nice color? Put it down right there. You see that? Isn't that beautiful? So this is our blackening seasoning. Okay. So now Maya is going to come over and season this. She's going to put the blackening seasoning onto the fish. Here, let's put a lot on. Look at that. You want to give it a good amount of seasoning.
Because then it tastes a lot better.
That's right. And then also you want to season both sides, because guess what? You're going to eat both sides, right?
No.
Maya's going to eat both sides. Anyway, so we got to season both sides of this thing. So pour all that stuff on there. So now, like I said, I have the pan on medium-high heat, okay? And this is where you definitely want adult supervision. You don't want to be doing this by yourself. And I have some olive oil here, right? And I'm just going to put a little of this in the pan.
And then you're gonna.
So we're going to put it in, but when you put the fish in, you want to put it away from you, right? So that way the oil doesn't splatter on you.
Right, because if the oil splatters on you, it hurts.
That's right. You don't want to get burned with oil. Okay?
You're gonna take
So we're going to
this,
put it,
and you're gonna-
put this side down first. Look at that. Okay?
Now,
we're-
after touching fish, since it's raw meat, you have to wash your hands.
That's right. Good job, Maya. Make sure that you always wash your hands when you're handling raw meat or really in between any of the jobs that you're doing, you really want to wash your hands. So, this fish, it's just going to take, fish is very sensitive, okay? You don't have to cook it for 10 minutes. In fact, if you do, it's not going to be very good, okay? So
It's going to be burnt.
It's going to be burnt and it's going to be tough, okay? So, you really want to cook this for just about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes per side, and it's going to be done, okay?
Right.
So, let's see how we're going here.
Fish spatula.
That's the fish spatula. It bends really nicely. Look at that. See? So you can really get underneath the fish. Give it a nice scoop and flip it over safely.
Don't try to flip it over like that because you're going to get oil all over you or something like that.
That's what I say. I agree with what she said. Okay, so now we're going to have our fish here. It's been about 1.5 minutes. Let's just take a look, right? Let me see. Watch this. We're just going to go and take a look here. See how that's blackening? That's nice. So let's just give it about another 30 seconds. All right, so now you want to flip away from you. Look at that, okay? And you don't push down because that's going to squeeze all the juice out. All right, cool.
You want your fish to be juicy because then it's better juicy.
It is better juicy. It tastes better and it has better texture. It's more flavorful, right?
Right.
Awesome. Cool. So now, while that's finishing up, we have our plate here, which has... We're using flour tortillas, but you can use corn tortillas. Absolutely, whichever you prefer, okay? Right now, I have these nice flour tortillas. We're gonna use flour tortillas, okay? So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our pico that Maya put in the fridge, and we're just gonna put some of that down on top of here, right? Check on our fish.
Pico that was in the fridge is a lot better than just regular pico that was not in the fridge because it gives it more flavor and it kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
It kind of marinates. It comes together and
Yes.
then it all comes together and it tastes better as all the flavors come together. It coagulates into one flavor instead of, you have tomatoes and onions and cilantro. Instead of tasting all the separate flavors, it tastes like one good sauce, okay? So our fish is pretty much done here. So we're just going to take like a little spoonful of that, put that on.
Maybe a bit more.
Maybe a bit more. Maya wants a bit more. She's the chef. I'm her assistant. Cool.
Is that good for you?
That's good. Now let's spread it out a little bit. Perfect. Look how beautiful that is. You see those colors? Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Okay, cool. So we'll put that aside. One more thing that we're going to add is some cabbage. This I want to cut real quick because we want to shave this, right? So I'm just going to take our cabbage. I have green cabbage. If you like red cabbage, use red cabbage, right? So I just cut a piece off and then we're just going to give it a real, using the claw. The claw, we're just going to give it a really fine shave, okay? And that's going to be really nice on our tacos, right? And then actually, wait, I want to give it another little cut. And that way we have nice little, you don't want really big chunks. You want a nice little shave of cabbage on there, right? Cool.
If you have too big, then you might have a bit too much on your fish tacos.
That's right.
But if it's too small, you won't get enough.
Right. So there we go. That's pretty perfect, isn't it? Awesome. So now we have our fish, which is all done here. We're going to bring it out, put it on this plate here. And then, here, do you want to do that? You want to put it on the plate? Let's bring the plate over to the pan. Yep, grab it out. And we'll take the pan off the stove. Now we'll bring it over to the cutting board here. Look at that. So now we're going to take...
It's a beautiful piece of fish.
Isn't that? We're using cod today, but you can use tilapia.
Ooh.
Maya really loves the tilapia. I know that's good. Or any really white fish, Halibut is good. It's a little pricey for fish tacos, but it does taste delicious, right?
Yes, it tastes, I don't know, the best.
Yeah, halibut's really good. So look, you want to have nice big chunks of fish on your fish tacos, right?
But maybe cut it up a bit more so you can actually eat it.
Right, so this is really nice.
Ooh, it smells delicious.
Maya can't wait. All right, cool. So now look at these nice chunks here. So I'm just gonna go whoop, put some of these on. Maya will put some on hers. Look at that.
Let's see.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, that's hot.
That's okay. Nice. She's crushing it.
Crush. No,
Crush.
literally like I'm crushing the fish.
She's crushing the fish. And she's crushing the video here.
Yes.
Cool.
Ah, slippery.
Awesome. So now we'll get this away. And what else do we want? We want a little squeeze of lime. All right, that's what I like on mine.
Me too.
All right. The other thing we have is avocado. If you don't like avocado, you don't have to use it. I happen to love it, so I'm just gonna take a few scoops out like this.
Avocado is recommended.
Chef Maya recommends avocado. I think you should use the avocado.
Avocado is one of the best. Is it a vegetable?
It's actually a fruit, actually.
Okay, fine. It's the best fruit in the world.
It's a good one. I can't lie there. I think I have to agree with what Maya said. Cool. So look at that. Now another thing that I really love on my fish tacos is some of this Cholula here. So if you don't like it, you don't have to use it. You can use the other hot sauce or no hot sauce. I like having a little bit of Cholula.
Not for me, please.
Not for Maya. All right, cool. Well, look at that's it. We've completed our fish tacos. Maya's gonna eat the avocado here while we finish up. But I just want to say thanks for stopping by. I'm Chef Dennis.
And I'm Chef Maya.
That's right, and we're all done with this video. If you have any questions, let me know. Let us know, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Have a wonderful day today, guys.
You too.
Adios.
Amigos.